Back in the day before television, public service announcements and commercials were shown at movie theaters. You would go into the theater, pay your nickel. I guess it was a nickel back then. It was a dime when I was a kid. And you, before the show, you would see a newsreel of what was going on during the day. And this was very, very popular during the Second World War, as the government was trying to sell war bonds and keep people abreast of what was going on in the war effort. And then you would see a short, and it could have been something like the Three Stooges or a Tom and Jerry cartoon, and then you'd see the main feature, which usually was in two parts. If it was a long movie, you'd have an intermission, people would go out, get their popcorn, smoke cigarettes, whatever, and come back and see the second half of the show. Anyway, I'm telling you this because what I'm about to show you was a newsreel back during the World War II era. They found the oldest living American, which was a black man at the time, and used him to promote war bonds. But I want you to pay attention to what's being said by the announcer, and then I'll have some thoughts afterwards.
Uncle Sam's Census Bureau finds America's oldest person. After searching through 132 million names, Washington announces it has proof of 117 years for Uncle Jem Wilson of Lyons, Georgia, hale and hearty and well into his second century of living. Still able to read his Bible and to read the fan mail which comes from all over America, Uncle Jem was born in 1825. James Monroe was president, the nation's fifth. There were only 24 states in the Union. Uncle Jem was born a slave and 5 times sold in slavery. Well did he know the grandeur of the Old South, the days of the great plantations, and he reached what is considered middle age, 40, before slavery was abolished in 1865.
Now, I don't know if they were really looking for the oldest American, as the announcer was saying, but when they discovered him, they did use him to promote the sale of war bonds. Now, some of the things they said was like he can still read his Bible because, you got to throw that in there. And he's receiving fan mail. Yeah, I don't think so. And then he nonchalantly says he was sold into slavery 5 times. And, I don't think you should sound remorseful like news commentators today try to make you feel a certain way about certain things. But he said it in like, that's just the way it was. He was sold to slavery 5 times, and now he's like relaxing with his pension. And this is the part that gets me.
Well did he know the grandeur of the Old South, the days of the great plantations, and he reached what is considered middle age, 40, before slavery was abolished in 1865.
Like, oh, those were such great days. What a shame that they're gone. He had such a great time as a slave, sold 5 times. So having said that, I must confess, I don't know the conditions of how they found him, why they found him, what he went through during slavery, what the circumstances were for him being sold 5 times, and whether he enjoyed slavery or not. I don't know. But it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth on how he's being exploited here to sell war bonds, while at that same time American blacks who wanted to sign up and fight for the war effort were not allowed to until later on in the campaign. So that's my opinion. Let's hear what you have to say.